Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. My name is Nilofer Afridi Qazi. This is the 9th Dialogue in the Series of Islam that I've been conducting at Kuch Khas. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we have a very interesting discussion and an extremely illustrious panel. Thank you very much for coming. We have DG Radio Pakistan, Mr. Murtaza Solanki with us. We have the chairman of PEMRA, Dr. Abdul Jabbar, and then we also have the chief political correspondent in FATA, Mr. Safdar Dawar. Yes. Thank you very much for coming and making the time to have a discussion and hopefully a dialogue amongst members of the Islamabad community on a very, very important topic. And the title of our talk today is the Public Broadcasting in the Times of Great Games and a case study of FATA. Now, the word great games has huge connotations, and unfortunately it seems that we are again in a process of multiple actors playing with multiple agendas at the expense of perhaps the locals. And one of the reasons why I had actually discussed with Mr. Solanki a few weeks ago that how does a public broadcasting institution like Radio Pakistan counter the narrative that is being conducted by non-state actors, first in Swat, as we know, and we know what the consequences of that was, and now amongst 5 million residents of Pakistan. We understand Mullah Radio is back. We also understand that private sector radios are not allowed in that particular area, and hence we are very happy to have our DG, PEMRA, the regulatory board for Pakistan on such matters, to perhaps shed some light on that matter. So we are very clear that many of our citizens in the area of FATA, which we understand is about 5 million people, how are we communicating with them? How do we know what's going on in that part of Pakistan? Can they access the information on our airways? How do we access their information, and how do we distinguish between truth and falsehood? So with that introduction, we'll start with DG Radio Pakistan, who can give us a little bit of insight into some of the areas that I have raised, and then perhaps we will move to our chairman in PEMRA, and then we can get maybe the specifics from our correspondent in FATA. And let's restrict it to about 5 minutes each, and then we can open it up for discussion and questions from the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nilofer. As you rightly said about this very term of great games, if there are any great games being played nowadays, we don't know. We leave all those good things for our senior Qazi Saab, who heads an important think tank in Islamabad. So, I would just focus on what's happening in that part of the country, what West calls badlands of Pakistan. Naturally, the area that we are talking about, 7 agencies, they border with Afghanistan, and what a day. We had our Prime Minister in Kabul this afternoon addressing a joint conference, press conference with Afghan President Hamid Karzai, and talking about that good old Afghan-owned and Afghan-led peace process. Well, good luck on that. Whatever that may be, I'll just tell my friends who are here briefly about that area, if you can pull up the map, please. The green is the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and the blue are those 7 agencies, and they all border with Afghanistan. One of the agencies probably everybody knows better than others is Waziristan, and especially North Waziristan and Miran Shah Dateline is talked more about. It so happens that Mr. Safdar Dawar, sitting on our extreme left here, he is from Miran Shah, from North Waziristan, and he is the chief political correspondent of Radio Pakistan. We have correspondents in all 7 agencies. Of course, we will ask a few questions from Chairman PEMRA, Dr. Abdul Jabbar, as well. If you could just, go to the next. This gives a brief, introduction of those agencies, but the important thing to keep in mind is you're talking about 6 million people in those 7 agencies, and roughly they make 2% of Pakistan's population. Despite that, that it's just 2% of the population, imagine how much that area is talked about in our news and current affairs, especially when it comes to extremism and terrorism. If you could move. A brief history of what's happening there in terms of radio. In those agencies, there were 4 radio stations actually established with the help of Radio Pakistan in early 2000. In 2004, there was a radio station in Wana, and then in Miran Shah, and Razmak, and Jamrud. The one in South Waziristan, Wana, that was blown up by Taliban, and it's not operational anymore. These 3 radio stations in FATA, which are operational even now, they are either low power medium wave or low power FM stations with a coverage of not more than 20-30 kilometers. Now Safdar will tell us more in detail when you ask him. It so happens that the population is scattered, the terrain is tough, hills, mountains, and all those 6 million people are not just at one place. So when, in 2008, I had discussions with FATA Secretariat, and there were some international organizations and also the representatives of our armed forces, and we were talking about how will we communicate or how will we disseminate our counter narrative. A lot of people came up with the idea, let's just install few FM stations here and there, and that will do the job. But given the power of low power transmitters, especially FM, if you have big mountain in front of you or an obstruction, the signal is dead right there. So that's why we had talked in early 2008, and our former Chief Secretary, then NWFP, I'm forgetting his, I'm sorry? I'm sorry? No, it will come to me. We talked about that, and we said because of the security situation, and it was escalating to get worse, in order to protect FM transmitters, you have to provide some kind of security. Since FM transmitter covers small area and the transmitter is also there, you need to provide some kind of protection. So if you have 20 FM transmitters, you need 20 teams and 20 areas where you have to protect them, especially also that they would cover a very less area. So somehow we convinced the donors, especially USAID, that we need high power medium wave transmitters in safe locations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, so we could cover every inch of that area. That was the challenge. So after 4 or 5 years, now I can tell you that a 400 kilowatt medium wave transmitter is about to commission in Peshawar, and a 100 kilowatt medium wave transmitter is about to be commissioned in Dera Ismail Khan. Now, Dera Ismail Khan, if you look at the map, sits right, at the bottom of all these 7 agencies. So once these 2 powerful transmitters are commissioned, not only every inch of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and all those 7 agencies would be covered, but a huge part of Balochistan, parts of Punjab and Gilgit-Baltistan, and almost the eastern part of Afghanistan would be covered during the daytime, and almost huge part of Afghanistan would be in the range of those transmitters. That is the only way to disseminate whatever your counter narrative is. So no matter how good the plans you make, you need a powerful carrier to carry that content. And it's unfortunate and sad that we as a state did not generate resources to develop that communication network ourselves.
4 years.
We had transmitters in Peshawar, but they belong to 70s, old analog tube valve technology. Some of the seniors who are sitting here, they must remember the old radio sets that used to have bulbs kind of things inside those radio sets. The same technology was used. Now that whole technology is outdated. Even the companies stopped production of those transmitters. So there was no serious effort in last 15, 20 years to replace those transmitters. So finally, at least we have those 2, and with the help of JICA, the Japanese aid agency, a 500 kilowatt state-of-the-art transmitter would be installed in Peshawar. Once these transmitters come online, we would have no dead spots in that entire area. But right now, the situation is, as I told you, 3 low-power transmitters. We have 1 good medium wave transmitter in Peshawar, and I'll tell you what we are doing. If you go next. There's a little hope. What we used to do, Radio Pakistan was like a sleepy organization that used to produce music, and all its news broadcasts started with what President said today and what Prime Minister talked about, what Information Minister said, what Governor said. That was pretty much reflected also in the local news. So our credibility in terms of news listenership went down. The good thing is that after 2008, we made serious and conscious efforts that we need to have, to broadcast news that are really news, something that people are really interested about, the news that directly affect the lives of the people. It's about them, about their social, cultural, and economic issues. So just by, reorienting ourselves and putting on the air more news about the communities, especially like FATA. Here is an organization, international organization, called CAMP, or Community Appraisal Motivation Program. This whole thick book is about FATA, but there's a section there on media which says that in 2008, 30% people of FATA relied on the news of Radio Pakistan. That was in 2008. By 2011, in 3 years, it jumped to 49%, almost 20% rise. Now, those 20% listeners who now listen to Radio Pakistan for news are the people who mainly relied on international media. That would be Voice of America, BBC, and some Diva radio coming from Washington, Mashal radio, Radio Free Europe and Asia coming out of Prague. So once you have like 20% more listenership, you actually cut some of the listenership of those broadcasters.
We need to move to that.
Yes. So briefly, what I want to say at the, my closing remarks, that we have tried to produce special programs for FATA till these new transmitters come out. Right now, we have 2 special hours just for FATA programming during the day, and our hourly news hour bulletin that goes 9 p.m. We have a special module just for FATA, and we are focusing more on the community activities, social activities, so that people start listening to something that's about them. We are on the road of recovery, but it will take a long time before we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Saab, agar aap
Thank
can
you.
address
Good
some of
evening.
the questions.
Good evening, and thank you very much, madam. Presently, Pakistan Electronic Media Regulatory Authority, that PEMRA, is working or functioning under the PEMRA Act 2007 with the mandate to regulate the private electronic media in the country. Initially, the task was given us to regulate the private electronic media in Pakistan. Later on, this law act was extended in AJK and northern area, Gilgit and Baltistan. Presently, PEMRA has issued about 173 FM radio licenses. 2 licenses are issued for Gilgit and Baltistan. 5 FM radio licenses are working. AJK, rest of the radio stations are working in Pakistan. Mostly are the non-commercial. PEMRA issues the licenses 2 types. One is commercial FM radio licenses. The other is non-commercial FM radio licenses. Non-commercial means the government organizations for education awareness and the academics, universities to the universities. Presently, there is no provision of the PEMRA in the PEMRA law to regulate the electronic media in the FATA. So I think presently the national broadcaster is working there, and the FATA secretariat KP province, they are regulating and they have the legal power to regulate the electronic media in FATA. So still under the law, we have some legal limitations. So we are not allowed under the law for the FATA. So this was about the radio station. Secondly, we are regulating the lending right permissions under the function of the authority. The lending right means the channel, satellite TV channel. We choose 2 types of satellite TV licenses. One is the satellite TV channel to uplink from Pakistan, and second is the channels which are operating outside the country. It means the foreign channels. So we grant the permission to the foreign channels on their request whenever they are, if any channel is interested to lend their signal in Pakistan for distribution on cable TV network, they apply under the law, they apply to the PEMRA for this permission. So presently, I think PEMRA has issued 89 satellite TV licenses to uplink from Pakistan, whereas 27 permissions have been issued to the international satellite TV channels which are being distributed on cable TV network in Pakistan. So we have legal limitation about the FATA. I think this is very, very important subject and the area where we have to work. So I think this is all about. The rest of the question answer I'm
Yes,
ready
I
to
think so, जी. जी आप.
मेरे ख्याल में मैं उर्दू में अच्छी तरह वाज़ह कर पाऊँगा. फाटा के बारे में बात हो रही है. अगर हम मैप पे एक बार फिर से उधर हो जाए चले जाए तो फाटा एक ऐसा एरिया है जिस तरह अभी बात की गई कि उधर मीडिया पे बैन है. अक्सर इधर के जो जर्नलिस्ट है वो उधर इंटर नहीं हो सकते और इधर का जो मीडिया है सेटल एरिया में वो उधर अप्रोच नहीं है. फिर ये जो प्रिंट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया है, प्रिंट मीडिया में जो एजुकेशन का सिस्टम है वो इतना नहीं है क्योंकि अखबार बहुत कम लोग पढ़ते हैं. फिर टीवी का जो है, टीवी का इस्तेमाल इसलिए कम है कि उधर डिश एंटीना पर पाबंदी है और पीटीवी के 2-3 बूस्टर है वो लोग अक्सर देखते हैं, लेकिन वो फिर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का प्रॉब्लम होता है. तो इस वजह से रेडियो जो है उधर अगर हम देखें तो रेडियो में एक ये है कि पूरी कबाइल जितने भी 6 मिलियन की आबादी है ये बहुत शौक से वो सुनते हैं रेडियो. और इसमें एक ख़ास बात यह है कि उधर जो हाफ पॉपुलेशन है फीमेल ख़वातीन जो है जो घरों में बैठी रहती है उसको तो न टीवी का अप्रोच है न अखबार उधर जाता है. वो किचन में बैठ के उधर खाना तैयार करती है, उधर रेडियो लगाई होती है. पूरी फैमिली बहुत शौक से रेडियो सुनते हैं, छोटे हो बड़े हो ख़वातीन हो. तो ये मैप में अगर हम देखें तो ये बिल्कुल बॉर्डर पर जितनी भी 7 एजेंसियाँ है ये बॉर्डर के साथ टच है, सिवाय एक जो औरंगज़ेब एजेंसी है. बाकी जो इधर नॉर्थ वज़ीरिस्तान है या साउथ वज़ीरिस्तान है, साउथ वज़ीरिस्तान से पहले इसका स्टार्ट लिया गया जो कि फाटा सेक्रेटेरिएट ने पहला स्टेप लिया उधर क्योंकि लोकल मीडिया नहीं थी. तो इस वजह से फाटा सेक्रेटेरिएट ने पहला स्टेशन जो उधर वाना साउथ वज़ीरिस्तान में 2004 में उधर बनाया क्योंकि उस वक्त इसकी ज़रूरत महसूस की गई. फिर उसके बाद ये इसी साल में 2004 में फिर मीरानशाह जो स्टेशन है जो अभी तक है 2004 में वो भी बनाया गया. फिर उसके बाद रज़मक स्टेशन जो है नॉर्थ वज़ीरिस्तान में जो बिल्कुल बॉर्डर पर है, नॉर्थ और साउथ का बीच का जो स्टेशन है उधर बनाया गया. फिर खैबर एजेंसी जमरूद का जो इलाका है उधर एक ये 4 स्टेशन जो है ये फाटा सेक्रेटेरिएट ने उधर लॉन्च किए. लेकिन इसमें फिर ये हुआ कि जो वाना का जो स्टेशन था उस पर ज़्यादा रिपोर्टिंग होती थी और पूरे लोग बहुत शौक से सुनते थे. तो बाद में उसको 2007 में उड़ा दिया गया और पूरा जो बिल्डिंग था जो इक्विपमेंट्स थे उसको भी छीन के ले गए सारे लोग. लेकिन अभी जो 3 चैनल्स है उधर नॉर्थ वज़ीरिस्तान में 2 मीरानशाह और रज़मक और एक जो खैबर एजेंसी ये फ़ाल है और काम करते हैं. अब ये लेकिन इसकी जो जिस तरह अभी बात की गई कि इसका जो पावर है वो बहुत कम है, वो पूरे एरिया को कवर नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि अगर हम देखें तो इस तरह इलाके हैं जिस तरह शवाल नॉर्थ वज़ीरिस्तान का इधर बॉर्डर एरिया जो है खैबर एजेंसी मुमन के साथ कुरम एजेंसी तीरा का जो इलाका है इसमें ज़्यादातर कबाइल आबाद है तो उधर तक इसके रेंज नहीं जा सकते. अब 3 पावर स्टेशन जो काम जिस पे जारी है ये एक DI खान में और ये एक पेशावर का जो ट्रांसमीटर है और ये एक दूसरा फ़कीराबाद वाला. अगर ये शुरू हो जाए कंप्लीट हो जाए उस पर बहुत तेज़ी से काम जारी है तो ये मसला नहीं होगा कि फाटा के फला इलाके तक इसका रेंज नहीं जाता है, अभी लोग नहीं सुनते. जो सर्वे के बारे में बात की गई रियली क्योंकि रेडियो पाकिस्तान ने अभी कई सालों से ये क्या है कि उधर लोकल लैंग्वेज में लोकल कल्चरल लेवल बहुत से प्रोग्राम शुरू किए हैं जिसके लिस्ट भी हमारे साथ है. गवर्नर हाउस के स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट पे या उधर जो प्रोग्राम में वो शुरू किए हैं और लोग उसको बहुत शौक से सुनते हैं। जिस तरह मैं कुछ प्रोग्राम आपके सामने बयान करूंगा कि ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान के डेली ब्रॉडकास्टिंग में 3 प्रोग्राम जिस तरह के कारवान भी एक है फ्रीक्वेंसी 440 पे, ये होता है 7 बजे। फिर ये इसके साथ आगे आते हैं फाटा टाइम, बहुत लोग इसमें इंटरेस्ट लेते हैं और इंतज़ार करते हैं उसको बाकायदा सुनने के लिए। फिर आगे आते हैं फॉरेन ब्रॉडकास्ट जो है, इसमें डिवा ज़्यादातर लोग सुनते हैं। फिर मशाल जो एक रेडियो है और बीबीसी पहले ज़्यादा लोग सुनते थे, लेकिन अब ये जो 2 मशाल और डिवा आए हैं तो इसमें उसके लिसनर में कमी आई है, क्योंकि ये दोनों जो चैनल्स है ये भी ज़्यादातर तवज्जो देते हैं लोकल इशूज़ जो है उस पर। एक तालिबान का जो रेडियो स्टेशन बताया जाता है उधर जो फ़कीर मोहम्मद के पास था, अभी उसको फिर बाद में लेकर गए, कभी तीरा में कभी बाजावड़ में, लेकिन वो मोबाइल होता है इधर ही फ़कीर मोहम्मद या मंगलबाग बैठ के उसको ऑन करता और फिर फ़ौरन ही ऑफ कर देते चले जाते, वो अब ज़्यादा ऑन नहीं होता। ये जो टेलीविज़न के हवाले से फिर मैं बात करूँगा, इसके लिए PTV के 2 बूस्टर्स थे। एक नॉर्थ वजीरिस्तान एजेंसी में रज़मा का एक पिक पॉइंट एलेक्जेंडर उधर एक चोटी है उस पर लगाया गया है, और एक कुरम एजेंसी में पड़ा चिनार के इलाके में। लेकिन PTV का भी ये मसला है कि ज़्यादातर उधर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का मसला होता है, और जो आबादी है ज़्यादातर कैंट एरिया से जो हेर आबादी है, तो उसमें ऐसे बहुत ज़्यादा इलाके हैं जहाँ पर तालिबान ने बाकायदा TV पर पाबंदी लगाई थी, तो ये भी एक मसला। फिर थ्रेड्स के हवाले से अगर हम बात करें तो ये जो 2004 में वाना में साउथ वजीरिस्तान एजेंसी में जो स्टेशन बना था, फिर बाद में 2007 में, ये सिर्फ इस वजह से उसको तालिबान ने ब्लास्ट कर दिया कि उधर एक फ़ीमेल कॉल आई थी और उसको उन्होंने अनएयर किया था कि ये फ़ीमेल के कॉल क्यों रिकॉर्ड की गई या अनएयर हो गई। इस वजह से जो उधर का स्टाफ होता है उसको भी मसला होता है बाहर घूमने फिरने में। अब आते हैं कि ये बहुत ज़रूरी है रियली कि रेडियो का जो है वो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि उधर मज़ीद इसको एक्सटेंड किया जाए। ज़रूरत ही इसी बात की, क्योंकि अगर हम देखें तो उधर कोई और प्लेटफार्म नहीं है, उधर इस तरह आज़ाद मीडिया नहीं है जो इधर हम देखते हैं। उधर का जो 6 मिलियन की आबादी है उसकी कोई नहीं है एक्सप्रेशन के लिए। और एक और बहुत अहम बात यह है कि इधर अगर हम देखें तो सोशल मीडिया ने भी अभी एक स्पेस बनाया हुआ है, वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट, लेकिन उधर नेट की फैसिलिटी न होने की वजह से वो भी नहीं है। ये बदकिस्मती है कि उधर जिस तरह सोशल मीडिया ने इधर एक जगह बना ली है और उसका अभी तक उधर कोई उस तस्वर भी नहीं कर सकता। थैंक यू वेरी मच। तो बाद में फिर अगर कुछ हो तो
शुक्रिया। मैं 2 सवाल करना चाह रही हूँ आपसे कि आपने एक लिस्ट हमें भी बताया था कि किस किस्म की प्रोग्रामिंग रेडियो पाकिस्तान वहाँ दे रही है, और आप रिपोर्टर्स के तहत आप रिलाई करते हैं। उनमें से कोई भी प्रोग्रामिंग है जो इस्लामाबाद या सिटी से उनको भेज रहे हैं, जैसे हेल्थ पे पोलियो कैंपेन? आपको पता है कि इसी इलाकों में तालिबान ने या लोकल लोगों ने कहा कि नहीं ये तो हम करेंगे नहीं। सो उस किस्म का जो मैसेजिंग, एक तो होता है कि आप रिपोर्टर्स से आप ले मैसेज और फिर एक प्रोग्राम बनाएं, और दूसरी किस्म की जो मैसेजिंग होती है कि जो उन लोगों को पहले समझाना होता है कि जो फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल जो इस्लाम आप सोच रहे हैं ये एक्चुअली कुरान में कहीं लिखा नहीं है, या पोलियो एक्चुअली आपको इस तरह बीमारी नहीं देती, या आप अपने बच्चों को स्कूल और तालीम दिलाएं इसलिए इसलिए इसलिए। सो ये जो प्रोग्रामिंग है वो रिपोर्टर्स की थ्रू की ज़रूरत नहीं है, मगर वो एक पैकेज होता है जो फिर आप वो कॉन्स्टेंटली आप उनको बीम करते हैं। सो एक तो वो सवाल था, और इस किस्म की प्रोग्रामिंग है या उनको मिल रही है। दूसरा जो मेरे ख्याल में आपने आधा आपने बताया था कि मैं क्यूरियस थी कि फीडबैक आपको क्या मिलता है जो रेडियो इन फ़ोन जो करते हैं, किस किस्म की चीज़ें वो कहते हैं आपको, या किस किस्म की गुफ्तगू होती है, या वो कौन से क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं जो हमें भी पता लगे कि जब वो फाटा के लोग फ़ोन इन करते हैं या मैसेज भेजते हैं या ख़त लिखते हैं वो किस मौजू पे आपसे इंटरैक्ट करते हैं?
पहले तो ये कि जो हमारे रेडियो के जो प्रोग्राम है वो सिर्फ वो नहीं है जो उधर वो कुछ होता है, जो पेशावर, इस्लामाबाद, कराची, लाहौर में जो भी फाटा के हवाले से प्रोग्राम होता है तो वो भी उसका एक हिस्सा होता है। यानी इधर के जो मैसेजेस है पॉजिटिव वो उधर भी लोग सुनते हैं। बाकी आपने बात की अभी जो पोलियो का एक कैंपेन चला उसमें नॉर्थ वजीरिस्तान, साउथ वजीरिस्तान में बहुत मसला था। तालिबान ने कहा था हम इसको नहीं उन्हें देंगे। तो हमारे जो पिछले पोलियो कैंपेन था उसमें बाकायदा हमने अपनी रिपोर्ट्स में पहली बार ये बताया कि आज फला चेक पोस्ट पर पोलियो के लिए बंदे बैठेंगे और इतने स्टाफ है और गवर्नर का ये मैसेज है, फला का ये मैसेज है कि पोलियो के जो बच्चे हैं वो एक कतरे से भी न रह जाए।
आलिम इस्तेमाल किए, आई मीन कोई आलिम मजहबी आलिम को उनको समझाएं कि ये सुनने उन्हीं को सुनेंगे मे बी। कभी आपने आलिम को सोचा है उनको?
उधर जो लोकल स्टेशन है उसमें ज़्यादातर जो इशू इस तरह होता है कि हम समझते हैं कि इसमें अब आलिम की ज़रूरत है, हम उसको बाकायदा अपने टॉक शोज में बिठाते हैं, वो लोगों को कहते हैं। कुछ इस तरह होते हैं कि वो ज़्यादातर हालात को देख के, क्योंकि उधर हम डायरेक्टली इतना ज़्यादा नहीं कर सकते कि मज़ीद उधर के जो जर्नलिस्ट है, उधर के जो रिपोर्टर्स है उसको मज़ीद प्रॉब्लम्स हो, लेकिन उधर के हालात को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए जो सारे सोशल इश्यूज है इसको ये हमारे एक तो
उसमें इस तरह से है कि पेशावर का जो रेडियो स्टेशन है वो तो ज़्यादातर पश्तो में प्रोग्रामिंग करते हैं। जो फाटा के लिए प्रोग्राम है वो फिर फाटा के मुख्तलिफ इलाक़ों से एक्सपर्ट्स बिठाते हैं ताकि वो उनके अपने डायलेक्ट में बात करें, क्योंकि जो पेशावर के पख्तून की जो लहजा और जो अंदाज़ है वो मीरान शाह में या खार में या शवाल में वो अफेक्ट असरअंदाज नहीं होता, तो वो तो करते हैं। लेकिन ये जो मामलात हैं जैसे पोलियो का है, हेल्थ का है, उस हवाले तालीम का है, उस हवाले से हमारे स्पेशल प्रोग्राम्स हैं जो उन्हीं लोकल ज़बानों में, सिर्फ पश्तो में तो है ही हैं, चित्राली है, कोहिस्तानी है, इन ज़बानों में भी प्रोग्राम हैं जो पश्तो से ही पेशावर से ही ओरिजिनेट होते हैं। और हमने पिछले 4 साल से ये कोशिश की है कि लोगों की बराह रास्त फीडबैक हो, लोग डायरेक्टली फ़ोन कॉल करें, कोई डिले मशीन, कोई सेंसरशिप ना हो और उसमें वो कॉल करें। ख़ास तौर पर जो यंग पीपल हैं, नौजवान हैं, उनमें हमारा एक नेटवर्क है FM 101, वो काफ़ी मकबूल है।
अच्छा।
पेशावर का जो हमारा ट्रांसमीटर है FM 101 का, वो उसकी पावर और उसकी जो लोकेशन इस तरह के है कि वो काफ़ी पेशावर से बहुत दूर तक जाता है।
अच्छा।
तो लोग कॉल करते हैं। एक हमने जो नई चीज़ की है वो ये है कि हमने अपने तमाम चैनल्स जो हैं जिनमें नौजवानों का भी है, हमारा करंट अफेयर्स चैनल भी है, उसको हमने IVR के थ्रू स्ट्रीम करना शुरू किया है, इंटरैक्टिव वॉइस रिस्पांस, कि आप एक 4 डिजिट नंबर डायल करके, भले आपके इलाके में वैसे FM सुनाई ना देता हो, आप अपने फ़ोन पर उसको सुन सकते हैं। तो उसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है कि रात के वक्त में जब हमारी FM 101 की नशरियात यहाँ से इस्लामाबाद से होती हैं या कराची से होती हैं या लाहौर से होती हैं, तो उसमें बेतहाशा फ़ोन कॉल्स आती हैं। अच्छा। और सिर्फ फ़ोन कॉल से नहीं आती, बल्कि हमने अपने तमाम स्टेशंस को SMS के साथ लिंक कर दिया है। SMS जो है वो निस्बतन सस्ता है, तो बहुत सारे लोग जो है वो 4 डिजिट एक कोड है उसको डायल करके वहाँ से मीरान शाह से भी, वाना से भी।
मैसेजेस क्या है वहाँ से, वो हमें क्या बता रहे हैं?
नौजवान जो हैं वो, उनको रहीम शाह का गाना पसंद है।
अच्छा।
तो वो उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। किसी को जो है वो पता करना होगा कि जी पेशावर में जी कौन सा IT का कोई स्कूल है।
अच्छा।
तो जो नौजवानों के जो भी इश्यूज़ हैं, जो उनके ख्वाब हैं, वो उस हवाले से करते हैं। कई दफ़ा ये होता है कि अगर उन फाटा के एजेंसी से लोग कॉल कर रहे हैं तो बहुत सारे लोग जो है वो रेडियो पे तस्वीर नज़र नहीं आती, तो कुछ लोगों को अगर समाजी प्रेशर्स हैं तो वो नाम बदल के वो बात कर लेते हैं
बिल्कुल।
मुख्तलिफ तरीके से, लेकिन लोगों को के पास एक कैरियर है कि वो अपनी बात कर सकें। कुछ प्रोग्राम जो हैं, अब मिसाल के तौर पर ये जो 2009 में मालाकंड स्वात की जो इंसर्जेंसी हुई थी, उसमें हमने स्पेशल प्रोग्राम्स पेश किए थे, क्योंकि लाखों लोग अपने घरों से बेघर हो गए थे। कुछ स्वात के लोग कराची में बैठे हैं, कुछ हैदराबाद में बैठे हैं। तो उन फैमिलीज़ को यूनाइट करने के लिए एक टोल फ्री नंबर पे, नेशनल नेटवर्क पे हमने प्रोग्राम्स किए, जिससे बहुत सारे लोगों की फैमिलीज़ दोबारा रीयूनाइट हुई। तो एजुकेशन के हवाले से, हेल्थ के हवाले से हम कर रहे हैं। क्या ये काफ़ी है? मैं कहूँगा नहीं, हमें बहुत कुछ करने की ज़रूरत है।
How effective are we in blocking illegal broadcasts that are usually carried out by Taliban? And if we are not, is it technologically possible to block those broadcasts? And what's lacking?
As far as concerns for blocking of illegal FM radio stations in the illegal areas where is the regulatory role of the PEMRA, that is KPK. I would like to point out that I think more than 250 FM radio stations has been closed and seized with the help of the local law and order agencies. And whenever we come to our knowledge, we receive the complaints through our offices, through their visits or other agencies, they report to us, we immediately approach the local government and close that. But out of that area, legal area in FATA, as I have already explained, that there is no legal jurisdiction of PEMRA to regulate the electronic media.
We have the jurisdiction.
But there are, I think in Peshawar, KPK, we have issues 11 FM radio licenses in different
How do we block though? I think what Imran is saying is that do we have the technology to block?
Yes, there is a technology. There is that can be through, we can generate the frequencies through and that can be generated, and we have provided that solution to the agencies working in that areas, and they jam that transmission. Jammer are available, because how that technology works, I think, just to generate the frequencies in that bands, FM bands, and that automatically stopped or ceased.
So how?
Second, so there were two. Initially we worked on the higher band, that is from 88 to FM 108. Then we come to know they are using the lower frequency, that is Japanese and Chinese and Japanese standards as well. So then we have, I think, purchased such lower frequency with the dual mode of frequency, lower and higher frequency, and they are working, I think, that with the 11 core. The 3 systems we have provided.
This begs a question that how are the Taliban actually acquiring this technology, setting it up? Someone is paying for it, they are moving it around, and as Murtaza Saab has said, you require protection to maintain some form of infrastructure, even though it may be mobile. So what does that say to us? Are the people supporting them, or what's going on?
I think when this equipment crossed the boundary, maybe it is through the smuggling or the illegal means coming into Pakistan, and of course they are using the money. Without money there is nothing.
Why don't we ask the man from
जी आप बताएं ये कैसे ऑपरेट कर रहे हैं?
एक जो मैंने बताया कि स्टेशन था वो तो अभी कभी ऑफ रहता है, वो इस वजह से नहीं, ड्रोन की वजह से भी, और ये भी कि टारगेट न हो जाए, जो सिग्नल होते हैं उस पर टारगेट होते हैं ज़्यादातर। लेकिन वो जो उसका अपना एक नेटवर्क है, वो ज़्यादातर ये वायरलेस सेट जो है उस पर भी वो करते हैं कि उनके जितने भी तालिबान है उसके साथ हर किसी के साथ वायरलेस सेट होता है, तो उसको भी एक इंफॉर्मेशन का ज़रिया वो बनाते हैं कि इधर जो उसका अमीर साहब होता है या कमांडर होता है वो फिर एक मैसेज कन्वे करता है, फिर पूरे एरिया में जिधर क्रॉस द बॉर्डर भी वो कि उनके ये वेव्स पर उधर तक पहुँचते हैं। वो सब ये जो है वायरलेस सिस्टम जो है अपने इंफॉर्मेशन या अपने लिंक्स के लिए ज़्यादातर इस्तेमाल करते हैं। जो
हम ब्लॉक नहीं कर सकते ये
नहीं, उसको नहीं ब्लॉक, उसमें फिर ये है कि उधर जो हमारे अपने फोर्सेस है वो भी ज़्यादातर इसी पे सिस्टम पे चलाते हैं और वो अक्सर मिक्स भी कभी हो जाते हैं, वो इंफॉर्मेशन का वो सिस्टम ये ज़्यादातर होता है।
Actually, sorry, let me explain about the frequency spectrum management.
Oh, it functions on wireless, and they move it around. So I asked, can't you jam it? And they said yes, but the wireless system that they use, it's also used by the military. Sometimes the messaging gets overlapped, so that they can't block. The wireless they can't block.
Madam, let me say something about this jamming. Generally, it is international and worldwide practice. The regulator is not allowed to use the jammer to block these frequencies or the transmission, because the illegal frequency, to jam the illegal, because there are several other legal frequencies are operating in that vicinity, in that areas as well. To avoid the blockage or the interference to these, so that is not mostly used. So when they see this is the open area and this is mostly this illegal operation where there is a crucial need, very, very important task is given to stop, and then they use that jammer.
आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा था।
मेरा आपसे एक क्वेश्चन है कि अभी जो 49% जिस तरह सुनेंगे साहब ने जिक्र किया कि लोगों की जो रीच है वो सुनने का वो है, तो 49 से 100% क्या प्रोग्रामिंग हमें करनी होगी रेडियो पाकिस्तान को पर्टिकुलरली उसकी ऑडियंस को सुनने के लिए? जैसे देवा है, मिसाल रेडियो है, उनकी प्रोग्रामिंग क्या है, कंटेंट क्या होना चाहिए? जिस तरह ISPR का जो हमारा रेडियो है 90 FM 96 वो इवन के इंडियन सॉन्ग्स भी उसमें चलाता है, तो वो हारमोनी को प्रमोट करने के लिए या प्रोग्रामिंग कंटेंट आपको मजीद क्या फोकस करना होगा टू रीच अप टू 100% रिलेशनशिप ऑफ रेडियो पाकिस्तान में?
बिल्कुल, जो आपने FM 96 के बारे में मेरे ख्याल में आप बता रहे, जो हमारे गवर्नमेंट चला है, तो उसका सिस्टम ये है कि वो पावरफुल तो है, लेकिन उधर जो कल्चर है उस लेवल पे आप कबाइल के कल्चर से एक लफ्ज़ भी उधर हो जाएंगे तो छोड़ देंगे। अगर हम देखें तो ये मशाल देवा रेडियो हर मुल्क है, इन लोगों से ये जो लोग हैं वो इतना ज़्यादा मोहब्बत नहीं करते, लेकिन उसके चैनल्स क्यों सुनते हैं कि उसके कल्चर के मुताबिक या जो सोशल इशूज़ है उसको ज़्यादा फोकस किया हुआ है। और ये भी है कि हम सोच रहे थे कि अभी कौन सा टॉप पे है, तो मशाल वाला जो है उसका पावर ज़्यादा है और वो साफ दिखाई देता है, सुनाई जा सकती है जो मिशल वाला है। जो सिग्नल है, जो वेव्स है, उसको साफ अंदाज से भी एक वो है कि जो पावर है उसको ये फिर अभी जो पेशावर या डे खान में जो चैनल बन रहे मैं ये आपको बताऊं कि जो बॉर्डर एरिया है इसमें 11 चैनल्स है अफगानी जो वो उधर कम और इधर ट्राइबल एरिया में ज़्यादा सुनाई देते हैं। तो इस वजह से ये जो चैनल अगर शुरू हो जाए जिस पे काम शुरू है तो ये सिर्फ न ट्राइबल एरिया को कवर करेंगे बल्कि उधर अफ़गानिस्तान का जो एरिया है उधर तक बहुत अंदर तक काबल तक ये वेव जाएंगे और लोग सुनेंगे। यानी सबसे अहम बात यह है कि उधर का जो कल्चर है कल्चर लेवल से प्रोग्राम शुरू हो। जिस तरह हम अब करें ये टॉक शोज होते हैं, डिस्कशन होते हैं, लोग कॉल कर रहे हैं करते हैं, उधर जो अभी इफेक्ट हो गया है उसका कल्चर सिस्टम जो 10-12 साल पहले था, तो लोगों को भी अब ये एहसास है कि हम वो सिस्टम जो है उसको किस तरह जिंदा रखें ताकि ये कल्चर हमसे ख़त्म ना हो जाए जो अभी बिल्कुल ब्लॉकेज है तालिबान की वजह से।
इस ट्रांसलेशन करने के लिए he was basically asking once you have increased your coverage from currently 40% to almost 100% one hopes, what kind of content are you going to be providing? So he basically focused on that it will be culturally relevant, culturally specific, and the idea is what is culturally specific. So he is suggesting that if you even deviate even a little bit away from what is perceived to be culturally sensitive, then the viewership will not be very happy. So that was the primary gist. But then there was also an addition that there are several Afghan channels on the other side of the border, which ironically a lot of the viewership is actually, I mean, listenership is actually in the FATA area. So this actually begs the question that there are sufficient enough radio channels that are operating, maybe not on our side of the border, but on the Afghan side of the border, that are accessing FATA households. Sure. Then again, the question that begs is that what is the range of information, again, the quality of the programming, and in some ways challenging some of maybe problematic social norms or, you know, like ideas which continue to keep and hamper FATA.
Yeah. Niloufar, he already said, he mentioned two international channels.
Yes, Mashal.
Mashal, that broadcasts from Prague, and Diva from Washington. Both are broadcasting in Pashto, and they use very powerful AM transmitters. Not only that their signal is good, but their focus is on programming and news that's about that area, that's about the people of that area. It's not about, you know, what person in what hierarchy did today. It's about the local issues, customs, culture, sports.
But do the people trust those channels? Because I mean, at the end of the day, one of the things
he says
Pakistan
yes.
in general, but I'm sure in that particular area, and let's go back to the title of this talk, The Great Game.
कितने मकबूल हैं?
जी, I mean, वो उनको पता है अगर अमेरिका से आ रहा है या प्राग से आ रहा है, वो उन चीज़ों पे, उन मौजूद पे उनकी जो राय है वो मानते हैं? यही मैंने पूछा था।
ज़ाहिर बात है, उधर अफगानिस्तान में इस तरह नहीं है कि जिस तरह इधर ट्राइबल एरिया है कि इधर मीडिया का पोजीशन है वो कमज़ोर है। उधर जो पोजीशन मीडिया का काबल में है वही खोस्त, पक्तिया, पक्तिका, जलालाबाद, नंगाहार, कोनड़, जो बिल्कुल नूरिस्तान जो बॉर्डर एरिया है तो उसमें लोकल लेवल पर जो चैनल्स है वो ज़ाहिर बात है अपनी अफगान पॉलिसी जो है उसको फॉलो करते हैं, उसको वो इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, जो अफगान पॉलिसी के हवाले से ज़्यादातर कवरेज होती है उसको करते हैं। लेकिन उधर जो लोकल ट्राइबल है वो रियली ये तो है कि उसके रेंज ज़्यादा है, उसकी आवाज़ साफ सुनाई देती है, लेकिन वो इतना ट्रस्ट नहीं करते उस पर कि उनके अक्सर अगर हम देखें तो ट्राइबल एरिया पे ब्लेम लगाए जाते हैं अक्सर ज़्यादातर, तो ट्रस्ट इतना नहीं करते, लेकिन ये है कि सुनाई देते हैं और रेंज पे।
मेरा मतलब फिर वही बात हुई, अगर वो अफगान रेडियो को नहीं मानते इसलिए वहाँ एक ऑक्यूपाइड मुल्क है, अमेरिकन फोर्सेस, नेटो फोर्सेस वहाँ हैं और वो सोचते हैं कि ये पता नहीं क्या कह रहे हैं, काबुल के पपेट्स बोल रहे हैं, तो फिर वो प्राग और मशल को क्यों मानेंगे? वही लोग हैं।
ये तो मशल जो है उन्होंने बिल्कुल ये रिवाज जो है उन्होंने ट्राइबल एरिया के हवाले से पूरा फोकस ये लोग है, ये कल्चर है, ये सोशल इश्यूज है, लेकिन उसका जो है ये मैंने नहीं बताया कि 11 चैनल है वो टॉप पर है, मैंने ये बताया कि वो सुनाई दे सकते हैं इधर। अब जिवाना का FM चैनल जो 2007 में उड़ाया गया है उसका नुकसान ये सिर्फ नहीं हुआ कि ये चैनल जो है ये ख़त्म हो गया, बल्कि उधर जो बॉर्डर पख्तीन हक जो चैनल है उसको मज़ीद पावरफुल किया गया, वो अब पूरे वाना साउथ वज़ीरिस्तान में वो दिखाई देता है। तो यही तो हम कह रहे हैं कि हमारे जो ये रेडियो पाकिस्तान के चैनल्स कंप्लीट हो जाए तो ये मसला फिर नहीं होगा कि हर तरफ से जो रिपोर्ट से गलत प्रोपेगेंडा है जो है इसको असल जो नुमाइंदगी है हाईलाइट करना है सोशल इशूज़ को, ये मसला हल हो जाएगा।
मैं चेयरमैन put the hands up so we can get answers. Ji.
My question is to Nagisa that your FATA is a very sensitive area as far as security is concerned. So do you have plans, or Radio Pakistan have plans to collaborate with ISPR and do some programs over there with the help of ISPR?
We already have installed and about to commission 3 powerful stations. We have the expertise both in terms of language and current affairs and journalistic talent to produce good programs. I am not aware of anything what ISPR is doing. ISPR is an organization that sends out messages about different branches of armed forces. So I really don't understand your question. How can we collaborate with them? Yes, if ISPR has any ideas about the national security, we are a government organization and we have forums available where we interact with each other and discuss issues that are important in terms of national security.
Regarding the extremists, we all know that there are big chunks of Fatah which is under control of extremists. So if someone call your radio station and they need help regarding, or they're complaining against extremist violence, so what kind of help can you provide them? What kind of guidance you provide them, or you just forget about it? I just need to get some clearance on that.
We got a lot of calls during insurgency of Malak and Swat. And we had special broadcasts. And at that time, the armed forces of this country were also listening to our programs. So, whenever there is an appeal or some kind of cry, those people who are tasked to answer those calls, they do. We can only become carrier of their complaints and not stop them from, venting out what they want to talk about.
And who speak to them every day, every Friday, and otherwise, whenever they meet them in between prayers and have a majlis on social questions, then any well-known alim in Islamabad or Peshawar or Quetta. So it's important to try and build support amongst the local mullahs, leave alone the ulama. Ulama are educated and, whether one agrees with them or not on specific issues. Particularly with regard to polio, it's important for the local mullah, and you will find many local mullahs are smart enough to be using polio vaccines for their own children because they're not so ignorant and all. But they are scared, or they are hypocritical, or they're dishonest, or a number of other reasons and all, why they will be reluctant to. So you have to, in some senses, encourage them. Another question is, what is when you speak on political subjects, for instance, there's a lot of pressure on the government to launch a campaign, say, in North Waziristan, against various networks which are supposed to be. Is it possible? I mean, what kind of narrative is sent to the people? Because you have to be sure that what you are saying connects with what the people want to believe in. If you're going to ask people to launch a campaign, is there receptivity for it? Or if you're not sure, do you just give a pass to this subject and say, this is too sensitive, we don't want to upset the Americans on the one side, or we don't want to upset the Pakistani Taliban on the other side, and people may get hurt. So do you have a policy here, is there, so that you can have a consistent message, which is repeated day in, day out, and which builds up one way or the other, whichever the message is, it has to be repeated over and over again for that to be able to. So basically I would imagine that we would want to build up support for whatever Pakistan's own policies are. And if those policies are not clear, then of course that confusion is reflected in your broadcasting policy also.
The question that you raised is very important and very sensitive. If you ask me, are we generating a program, hey, let's go and wipe out these people in North Waziristan or other parts who are, out to get us? Probably not. But when, our forces are attacked, when our soldiers are kidnapped, when they are beheaded, when they are killed, injured, not only that we broadcast those news items, we somehow find a way to address that these are our soldiers who are trying to protect us. And killing them is against the country. So those who attack our soldiers are not patriotic people. They are either willingly or they are unwillingly being used by the forces who are against our country in a time of great stress. So somehow we find a way to address it, but we do not hit it, right in the face because of the security situation, and as well as not, taking those issues heads on as we would address them in elsewhere.
Polio campaign, just an observation that probably the present wave of resistance against the polio is not caused because of the ignorance or because of the religious motivation. It is with the main motivation behind it, their propaganda is that these polio campaigns are being used by the enemy's agents to do their work and blah, blah, blah. So it's not, the problem is not religious. So if we will try to confuse it, probably we will not be tackling it head on.
The tribal areas today, the young people in the tribal areas today are in a condition where they are improving intellectually and academically, or whether things are where they always were. Is there the migration from the tribal areas to the settled areas and the return there? Is that improving the outlook of the people there? Or are we fixed and tied down to whatever was always there? What is the present position?
I'm not sure if I'm really competent enough to address your question. Yeah, go ahead.
सॉरी आपने पश्तो में अच्छा जो यो थे वो ज़ाहिरी बात है स्टार्ट में जब थे ये सारे तालिबानाइजेशन को ज्वाइन कर रहे थे उधर उसका ज़्यादातर झुकाव था, लेकिन आजकल ये है कि उसको एक पता लग गया है कि नहीं जो एजुकेशन है ये ज़रूरी है, और ज़्यादातर ने नकल मकानी करके उधर अगर 10,000 रुपये कमाते हैं तो उसमें 9,000 रुपये ट्राइबल पीपल इस पर लगाते हैं कि मैं अपने बच्चों को इस माहौल से निकालो और बनो जय खान पेशावर कराची इधर में उनको पढ़ाओ। तो ज़्यादातर जो उधर वालिदैन है उसका अब ये फोकस है कि ये जो उसके बच्चे हैं वो इस माहौल का हिस्सा न बने। तो ये बहुत अच्छा उसमें एक चेंज आया है, लोग पढ़ाते हैं।
Yes, there has been a change. The question was that has, you understood the question, yeah. The answer was that yes, there has been some change even amongst the elders and the children. They don't want the children to be in the same position as they were. So there has been some kind of a change and a desire for betterment amongst the youth.
And he says that there has been migration. A lot of people send their young people out of tribal areas in settled cities to get education. If a tribal is earning 10,000 rupees, he tries to spend 9,000 for the education of his child, so they don't join the holy warriors, something like that.
I actually wanted to ask a question from the Chairman Pemra, that you mentioned specifically that the jurisdiction, of perhaps, the FATA area is the FATA Secretariat. And those of us who have worked in development, we know not only the capacity but the quality and the control of FATA Secretariat. Is there any attempt of Government of Pakistan to actually extend that very, very important jurisdiction so we can actually have one regulatory body for all of Pakistan?
Yes, we have not received any proposal from the government or the FATA Secretariat in this regard to extend this jurisdiction. So, in other words, I will say that we have the two modes. One is the broadcasting, television broadcasting, and the radio broadcasting modes, mediums. So, there is the FM radio, as far as concerned, the limitation, technology limitations, the coverage area about 40-50 kilometers, whereas Our national broadcaster has the technology of AM shortwaves. They have the long range coverage. The third, the technology is under the transition, under the transforming from analog to digitalization. So that ITU has given the deadline to 2015 to all member countries worldwide to transition from their network, broadcasting network, from digital to analog to digital. So this technology is being under consideration and process. But there in digital technology there is satellite radio. Maybe you haven't heard. So I think the outreach is the satellite radio is the solution for this FATA and other areas to provide this medium and information, education, awareness with the multiple choice, only that. But there is again the problem is the economic problem with the receiver cost that maybe is very high as compared to the existing radio. So these are the problems, technology problems.
The one question that we had asked starting when the program started was that the KP government and certainly members of the parliament who represent KP have been complaining that private sector investment for radio has been denied in FATA. So if there is money, they would probably have the technology. Why is it that our government is not giving the licenses to private sector to operate?
Yes. Well, if as far as concerned, first I would like to speak about KP. Even KP is not interested to issue any license in the KP, in the settled area as well. You know, under our provision of our act, I think the section 24 is there. So we have to make the consultation with the respective province when we issue the license. So I think about 20 FM radio licenses are pending due to the lack of interest of the provincial government of the KP. They are not issuing the NOC to Pembra for establishment of FM radio station. Even the people are very interested and they have the investment. And even they have participated in the licensing procedure, everything. They have completed all the formalities. But even the government of KP, especially the information department, is not willing to give the NOC.
Any last questions? G.
Though we are focusing the locals, but are we competing with the players of the great game on this scenario, or are we letting them free? Like Mishal Radio, you said that they are focusing on our own culture more than us. How is it possible? Is it lack of our resolve, or are we not interested in taking part in the great game and we are just focusing the locals, which I think are just a very small part of the overall game which is being played? So what is it? Is it lack of resolve, or we are not aware of what is happening around us? Afghani's radios, they are focusing more on our culture. Mishal and others, Dawa or whatever, they are focusing on our culture. We are not ready to give the licenses to the private radio stations. And we are stuck up. Even the coordination between ISPR and own radio. You said we don't have that kind of coordination. Why so?
Saeed, the very fact that the three most powerful AM transmitters that are about to be commissioned have no input from our government says it all. Number two, as far as the content is concerned, and content is the king, in last 3-4 years, we have changed our programming, our news, to make it relevant for the people of Pakistan. News and programs about social, cultural spheres of the lives of the people have made us little bit relevant. But we have a long way to go, and it also comes that how good, no matter how good content you have, if your transmitter is not capable of transmitting that signal, that's singing in your own bathroom where nobody else listens to.
I mean, these are very important questions, and this is actually a discussion that I've had with Murtaza Solanki many times, that let's begin designing effective programming using polling and using and encouraging those who have access to radio to come and speak on issues that matter, and then for us to be able to develop a system so we can actually analyze and not leave television or politicized commentators or leaders to define the agenda which actually affect them the most. But this begs to the question which actually even television has, which is how free are you to make those kinds of we've had this discussion, and you were very much in the audience. How free is Radio Pakistan to actually make those calls and those design calls and that analysis? What is your link to the Interior Ministry, Information Ministry, and unfortunately vis-a-vis this, the big brother in the house? So these are very, very important challenges, obstacles to actually use an extremely, probably the most powerful tool in a democratic dispensation, which is to actually gauge the democratic voice safely without them revealing themselves, to actually communicate with us so we actually know what is going on. So this is something that, of course, as a citizen of Pakistan, I encourage you to take that challenge, and certainly there are many of us who are here to assist, to try and do the required reaching out to our brothers and sisters in FATA, and certainly analyzing scientifically, you know, what exactly is going on and how far removed are we from what we should be doing. I actually wanted to make an observation, which is most unfortunate, that both JICA and USAID, the agencies, donor agencies, which are providing the funding, the infrastructure, and certainly the design, and then if they are providing certainly the hardware, that means that they will be certainly involved in their investment. So we are currently in a democratic dispensation. When we were not a democratic dispensation, yes, we could argue that there were powers that be which had no interest in democratic voice. But today, what is the excuse that we have where we do not prioritize access to our citizens, and certainly prioritizing by the billions that we receive not only in aid, but in the meager taxes, to try and bring every single Pakistani under the communication net. So this is my observation, most unfortunate, on providing not sufficient enough support, but at the same time, and this is where DG Pemra can also, I hope he has an opinion on this, is that our regulatory authority should not be stifling. We should give our communication platforms, both television and certainly public radio, PTV and Radio Pakistan, the breathing space so they're able to make that editorial decisions which actually do justice to what they're actually meant to do.
Can I briefly respond? Okay. Well, to be honest with you, in last 4 years, I have not received any advice from either from the Ministry of Information or any government agency to do this or don't do that. Now, I can, I can do it. Yes, I can play it that I have like carte blanche, or I can say that they are not even interested if we exist. It's up to you how you play it. But despite hectic efforts to make it relevant and really direct it towards people, there is a huge resistance from within the organization, where the distinction between a state broadcaster and government broadcaster is gone over many, many decades. Each time when I go in the newsroom and ask them, hey, Imran Khan said this, why is not a headline? Nawaz Sharif said this, why is it not a news? They say, are we supposed to put them in? I can only, recite just few lines of a verse that would probably explain this. Itne manus sayad se ho gaye, अब रिहाई मिलेगी तो मर जाएंगे. You know?
They'll die if they get freedom. I mean, they've
Because
been
they are
chained
so
for
used
long.
to, you know, that particular narrative. So it's like a everyday struggle. You know, we have probably the highest number of reporters today working in NA 159 Multan. No media organization has that large number of reporters in the field, around 60 people in the field in 245 polling stations. I get a video package. There is a video clip of Mr. Junior Gilani. And should we run it? I said, yeah, but where is the other side? Where is the clip from Mr. Bosan? I would not allow running this till I have the other side. So then you push them, hey, get the other point of view, and then run it. But it's like sometimes you feel frustrated that you are fighting a losing battle because people are used to it, and they say, you'll be gone in few months, maybe a couple of years, and the life would go as it used to be, where we didn't, have to think about these things.
Thank you very much.